Hey everyone, FiGuy448 here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Vanilla Plus. And today is the day we are going to start our build. Don't know how far we'll get. I'm very amateur when it comes to actual building, but I think we can at least get a start on what we're going to do here. I've got the picture of the house on my laptop sitting next to me. I debated on whether or not to show it, but I think I'm going to keep it as a surprise. What I'll probably do is we'll get the basics down, and then maybe I will not show it for a little while and build off camera and then show you guys the final reveal. Maybe like a house tour, kind of like an HGTV thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Don't know how long this is going to take to build, but it's not a terribly complicated design. However, there's going to be a lot of underground structure that will be developed along the way, and I believe that's going to be the vast expanse of the house. What's going to show up above the surface here is not going to be extremely huge, but what I've done over here is thinking about doing some alterations on the design, maybe some of the colors. So I've laid out some blocks over here, and before we get started, I did bring a bed up here. I do have a bed down there still. I don't know if you can see it, but it's way over there. But I figured best to keep the night away whenever possible. Keep our villagers safe down there in case a creeper sneaks in. But as you can see, we do have the chisel mod. And in that chisel mod, it does have a lot of different types of blocks. This is the marble, and this is going to be the primary block that we use for the structure. I kind of like this one and this one. This one, I believe, will definitely have a purpose in certain aspects of the build, but I don't know how much of it we're going to use. I know some of you may think, hey, well, if you want white blocks, why don't you use wool or snow? Well, wool wouldn't necessarily be that much of a problem. I do have a bunch of sheep down in the village over there that I've been breeding and slowly collecting their wool. But I don't know. I just don't want it to be like bright white. I think this is, especially with it being on the coast over here, we want the little, I guess the sea sprayed look, so to speak. Also, these are the various different glass options, and these were some of the ones that I wanted to kind of take a closer look at. There's a lot more with this mod. I don't know if these can be dyed. As what I'd like to do is some of the glass in this is kind of like a smoky color, and I think with the white, I think it would look really good. So, but I just wanted to kind of play around with these a little bit and see the different options. I'm really digging this one right here. That one's alright. I'm not a big fan of that color of the rim. This one's okay. That one is really clear, and I do like that. You can see through it. That one is just kind of crazy looking. It's a screen option, which I think is kind of weird looking. But anyways, I also do like this block as well. This is a cobblestone that was hit with the chisel. And over here are some walkways that I've kind of, I don't know, messed around with. Maybe something like that would be okay. I don't know. Maybe that would be better, the mixed look. I'm not a big fan of this one just plain, at least in this setting. Now down in the village, I think that maybe we could use this one a lot. But up here, I'm thinking that maybe either this one or this one. Leaning towards this one as kind of a walkway around some of the different areas that we're going to have built up here. These, I threw those down. I'm not a big fan of either one of those. So we'll just get rid of those. But what I'm going to do is I do have a bunch of marble. I did go on a little caving expedition. Oh, and another thing, you'll see that I do have some food. And Pam's Harvest Craft, I've been at work slowly but surely chipping away at some of the different recipes. And you'll notice I've got a loaded baked potato and the saturation on this thing is ridiculous. I've been kind of goofing around up here for a little while, and I've only gone down a few haunches on saturation. So some of these meals are really good, and we don't have to worry about eating for a while. But I've got a hamburger, got a cheeseburger, and a bacon cheeseburger. And the cool thing about it is each one of these counts as a completely separate food, even though really each one is just adding one more item to it. So that comes in kind of handy. And I was kind of looking at beds over here, but this is a DecoCraft thing, and they don't really show any. As you can see, they don't show any recipes. So we'll have to get into the Deco Bench at some point in time and start messing around with that. But first things first, let us start to lay out a rough, outline. And I'm going to do this in dirt, and I should have brought more dirt. Yeah, should have brought a lot more dirt, because I think that it'll be easier to kind of alter things. Dirt's pretty easy to pick up. And what I've decided is this area over here, probably even including this this pool, is I'm going to kind of keep this as natural as possible. And then over here is going to be kind of like an extensive garden type area that will overlook this little cove here. Maybe build some sort of gazebo or something over here and kind of attach it to the main house. This over here will probably keep as some sort of garden area. And then the house will kind of start in this general vicinity and spread throughout over here. I do want the house to kind of face this direction, though. This will kind of be the main view out here. And we may get into some, landscaping, if you will, down through here. One thing I've started doing is I've kind of started building out the cliff face here, because I do want to have a little more area than we have. So, you know what? I need to go get some dirt, but we'll worry about that in just a little bit. But one thing I do want to do is I kind of want to build this up just a bit. And the main reason being is I think that with a sheer cliff face, I think it'll look kind of good. And although we do have a good bit of room here. But this is kind of what I have for an idea as far as the house goes. Is it's not going to be tremendously huge. It does have kind of a lower story that doesn't really have any windows. It's kind of like a tri-level type design. And then it has a kind of an open, middle floor, if you would call it. And then kind of like a crow's nest up at the top, which I'm going to set up as a master bedroom of sorts. And up there we'll also maybe have some patios that look out over on the roof. So I don't know. Anyways, let's get started laying this out. And one thing I'm gonna have to do is get rid of these blocks. And the good thing about it is the customized ones tend to remain the same. Unfortunately, the glass ones are all going to break, but we are right next to a desert, so I'm not going to sweat it because we can make glass for days. And you know what? Maybe we'll lay out... heck with dirt. Let's just lay it out in this. I've got a bunch of iron, and I'm not really concerned with running out. I think I've got 2 stacks, or at least a stack and a half of iron down near the village. So let's just we'll go with this. And of course I don't have an extra pick. Didn't really prepare too well. Sorry about that, guys. I'll do better, I promise. But the main, I guess the front of the house, and going from this picture, I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's not the easiest picture to build from. It's kind of at a dramatic angle, to make a pretty cool picture. But as far as actually seeing the design, it is a little rough to determine how to approach this thing and build it. But we're going to do our best here. Let's see, we've got a good bit of area here, and this chest might actually need to move, but we'll worry about that later. Let's kill this tree. And like I said before, guys, I'm not the best builder in the world, so bear with me. And I've built basic, whenever I've played this prior, my builds have been basic, very basic, just pure survival only. Nothing too fancy. This will be my first ever, I guess you could call it, fancy build. So we'll see how it turns out. And of course this thing may be modified significantly as we go. Go ahead and get rid of this tree as well. And I know I brought up all this acacia wood. I don't see where, maybe the logs themselves, because I don't mind the color of the logs, but the orange wood, I'm just not a fan at all. And it could have a little something to do with, my college's arch rival is the Clemson Tigers, which today is College Football Saturday, by the way. The games on now aren't that competitive, so I decided to step up here and record real quick before my Gamecocks take on Mississippi State tonight. And yes, I know those of you who are sports fans, there's just not a whole lot to cheer for in Gamecock Nation lately, but I think Coach Muschamp has got some things going on that are going to serve us well for future years. Keep the expectations reasonable this year, guys. Next year, we're going to take a huge step forward. I can just feel it. All right. Anyways, now that it's daytime, let's start to lay this out. This design also has a pool in it. So what I'm going to do, and I'll probably just sink these blocks in later, is there is a very large water feature around this building. It's kind of like a moat. I think we're going to do away with that portion of it, and we're just going to kind of keep the pool portion as well. And maybe set the house back a little bit farther from the pool than is in the picture. But I do like the basic design of the house itself. It's just a matter of trying to work around the landscape here, because it's a little bit odd shaped for what we're trying to do. But anyways, let us get the general layout of the house. And I'm trying to decide, because there's a set of stairs that kind of comes in towards the front of the house, and I kind of want the layout to be, there's a big kind of a deck with a pool, and let's see, the deck, we'll lay the deck out like right along here. The pool's gonna go right Alright, you know what, let's just lay this out as the pool. This will be the pool. Does have a small pool, which is fine. We don't need anything massive. It's not like we're actually going to be swimming in it. This is decorative only. And then along one wall of it, there appears to be a and again, we're just kind of using the regular marble for now. I'm probably at some point in time going to swap out with some of the fancier stuff, but I just kind of want to get the basics down as far as the alright, and that seems to be the first floor, and then the deck kind of comes off here. And I know this is extremely confusing right now, guys, but it'll make sense as we get a little more into it. Oops, man, going wild with the placement here. And as we go, this design might be altered a little bit. Oh man, this is going to be a great view up here. And you know what? Let's bring this out a little bit more. Because I think we're going to make the outdoor living area a little bit larger than what the picture shows here. Just because me personally, if I had the opportunity to build with a view like this, I would be spending a lot of time outside, especially catching that breeze. Okay, I think that's a pretty good size deck. Pool goes there, and then the house itself actually kind of stretches out over this way. So this is going to be kind of a wall. Yes, awesome. Love it. All right, let's put some scaffolding here. And yeah. Anyway, this is going to be a wall. And I'm not going to worry about the doors. We'll worry about the door placement later. Oh no. No. Yeah, whatever. We'll keep that there. Like I said, we'll worry about the placement later. But this is going to be just a patio, and then the house itself stretches out a very good ways back here. And I only have one angle of this place, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to improvise as we go. I'm doing a great job staying up there, aren't I? I sure am. Alright, let's do this. Alright, just gonna take this block right here. Alright, and actually this whole wall, both of these walls, with the exception of a doorway, are going to be all glass. So we're gonna have a pretty awesome view out there. But yeah, I think this is a good size for a patio. What do you guys think? The view over there is alright, but this is the view that we really want. Alright, now this thing goes back a pretty significant amount. You know what, let's hop down here, and I'm just going to see how far we want to stretch this sucker out. And again, there's going to be a floor under here as well. So this house, although in the picture doesn't really look that large, it's actually pretty significant as far as size goes. So I think we're going to have plenty of room to do all sorts of cool stuff in here. But yeah, there is, and again with the flooring and all that, we've got plenty of room where we can add another block. We're going to sink the flooring into the ground here, so you know, we've got, I think, 5 blocks to choose from, and I think that's a good spot to kind of deal with this. And we're just going to run this out here for a ways. And I know it, trust me, I'm not a builder. I'm an accountant in real life, so you're like, dude, you're building the second floor before you build the first. Yep, I'm aware of that. Oh, no, we've gone way too far. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm really thinking about trying to incorporate this in some way. But in order to do so, let's see, here is the patio. This is going to be the house. We may need to move that actually, because we don't really have a whole lot of room over here. Kind of wanted to keep some space over there for, you know, a small little project, like a small little garden project. But I think what we're going to do is going to stretch out the house just a little bit this way. And then we are going to run it back over here. Yeah, I think we might end up losing this. Let's cut it off here and see, once we get the bottom floor, I think we might try to find a way to incorporate this into the house. Yeah. See, that will cut it off right there. Let's just see. If we run this right here, what kind of mess are we going to be looking at? And I'm going to need a bunch more marble. Might have to come up with a different building material for some of the other houses or down in the village, but this one is going to be kind of the marble palace. Yeah, I think this will be plenty of room because we're going to have a second floor here. Yeah, I think this will be plenty because this will be kind of the underground area. And then we're going to have a second floor that is going to expand up through here, and then we're going to have a third floor as well. So yeah, I think we'll be okay. But yeah, I think and a lot of this this bottom floor is going to be pretty much filled in. You're not going to really see a whole lot of glass. The second floor and obviously the top floor is going to be glass. And I think we'll just go out to here. Yeah, I think that is best. And then we can, yeah, maybe we can, you know what? I've got an idea. We can make this a sort of like a terrarium, or, you know, like a garden. Indoor garden, and just make a dome of some sort, or put some glass around it, make a glass structure over it. So if we take this down, oh yeah, I need to get that. Marble is very valuable, at least for this build. The good thing is that I have not really had any trouble finding it, and the pockets that I do find are generally quite large. And I mean, we've gone through, you know, a fair amount, but I think that we're probably going to be using a crap ton of marble. And yeah, I've got 4 more stacks. 5, 6, 7, 8. there's a good chance that we're probably going to use a good bit of this marble for this one build, but that's okay. But looking at the time, I think it is about time for us to wrap this up. So one more look at the build here, and you kind of get the general gist of the idea. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to do a little more work off camera just to kind of fill in the basic structure, maybe play around with the different block types so we can replace some of this marble with a cooler look, this plain old marble with a cooler look. But until next time, guys, this is FiGuy448, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.